This is The Random Whisper.
Welcome back to The Random Whisper. This is one of the hosts, Legs, this time.
And I'm Abby.
Mm-hmm. And I am Jay.
This
Finger
is
licking good.
This is another episode. It's been a long time.
Okay.
This is our pre-Thanksgiving episode.
Hey, you guys, everybody should notice that Jose did press record on this episode.
You should have decent sound quality on this one.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah. I still feel bad about it.
So hey,
whose phone is not on silent?
One of the things that's probably mine's on a, I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, hey, thank you Patreons for being patrons, and just know that we're going to be answering questions, and we did review a movie from suggestions, so we are paying attention, and you are important.
Yes.
And keep up the questions.
Yes. Should we mention which patrons?
No, I think the anonymity is pretty cool.
Nemo.
I'm confused what you mean by which patrons.
He wants to call them out.
Blank asked blah 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 blah,
I mean,
and
that makes
blank
sense.
recommended blah 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 blah.
That
Yeah,
makes
but
sense.
what if they don't want people to know who they are?
Let's do this.
Then they would put their name in as Patreon, as like anonymous and not as themselves.
Let's do this.
Actually, it's probably not, because if they respond on the account, it probably names who named it.
Yeah, but you can change your name on Patreon
But
to
why
be
would somebody
whatever
do that?
name you want. And so if you didn't want to be named, if Rebecca Johnson didn't want to be known as Rebecca Johnson, she could put her name as steroid killer. I don't know.
Rebecca Johnson, thank you for your patronage.
She's not on Patreon. I just made that
I
name
know.
up.
That's why I'm singling her out.
Let's not
Okay.
mention it, and then we'll ask the patrons.
Yeah.
And then this podcast will be like, last podcast.
I think we're way overthinking things.
You are.
Duh.
Okay.
You are. Anyways, moving on.
So, movie review time. Yeah.
So we watched and reviewed a movie that a Patreon suggested.
Wow, that sounded so commercial. Today on Sesame Street, we're covering the letters C, B, and the number 4.
Exactly.
So, man, yeah, I wish I could say their name.
It was weird because, like, okay, so the Impossible is the one that we reviewed.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing that on Netflix. I was scrolling through, before, and I watched the little preview, and I was like, well, this might be something to watch. And then I put it on the list, but I never got to it. And then when her list, when she was like, hey, here's what the Patreon was saying, I was like, oh, okay. So I watched it, and I honestly remembered that whole event happening. I had just gotten out of Iraq. We'd come back from Iraq, and then, like, that was the big news in the world at the time, was like that huge earthquake, and then it caused a tsunami to go through. So I remember that whole event. I was like, holy shit, like I was alive watching it go on as it was going on, kind of like 9/11,
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was all right. But you know what we should do this time? Because you and I always start with the review. I think the little short munchkin should do begin her review first.
Okay, let me just give you the deets before you start. It's The Impossible. It was released in 2012 based on the events of 2004. They call it the Match Day Box or something. What they call it?
Match Day Box.
Box Day.
Oh, Boxing Day?
Boxing Day
Boxing
Tsunami.
Day.
Yeah. It was directed by J.A. Bayona. And it was written by Sergio Sanchez and Maria Belon, who's the story is based on.
Mm-hmm.
She was Spanish, but in the film they kind of seem British.
They are British.
So, and the main cast and crew is Tom Holland, Naomi
Baby
Watts.
Tom
No.
Holland.
He's not the main cast. Main cast is Ewan McGregor. Tom Holland's a sub character.
No,
he
Tom
was the
Tom Holland is the main
This
character.
is a
Tom Holland
protagonist.
is always a sub character.
That's
No.
hell
In Spider-Man?
no. Oh,
He's
hell
literally
no.
Spider-Man. How
Tom
is he?
Holland is a scrub. Anyways,
I love Tom Holland.
I'm glad you
Thank
was
you for
baby
listening to
Tom
the
Holland.
But yeah, so take it away, Abby.
I liked it a lot. It was kind of weird though that the like the actual people it's based on they were Spanish, but then they made them all white British, which was kind of strange because I looked it up afterwards and it was like that was like a weird choice, but I don't know. It reminded me, like, I obviously don't remember this incident happening because I was a child, but I do remember the ones that happened in Japan. That was like 2009, right, or something like around that time.
I think it was something.
Yeah.
And it reminded me a lot of that because it was like the way that like the waves came in. Because I remember watching that on TV, and like watching like this has like haunted me forever. Like there was like a family and they were in a car. This is like a helicopter footage, like that was playing on the news. It was a family in a car and they were driving away from the tsunami, and so as they were driving, the wave was getting closer. And like the camera people realized that like, oh my god, they're not gonna make it, and so they like cut the footage like aggressively.
Damn.
So like that reminded me a lot of that.
That's cold.
But the movie was very like gave me kind of anxiety watching it. Like the underwater stuff was like very like. And also I was Ian McGregor's character. I can't remember what his character is named or who the guy was named, or if they even name him in the movie.
Yeah, his name is Dad.
Okay, Dad. So Dad makes the choice.
Henry.
Is his name Henry?
In the movie, yeah.
Okay. So he makes the choice to like send his 2 kids off to the mountains and stay behind. And I don't know. I don't think I could do that. I don't think I could just send my 2 children away by themselves to be like, you have each other. Okay, I'm gonna look for mom and your brother.
Well, no, they weren't together. They weren't by themselves. They had that woman that swore that she would take care of them.
Still a
this
stranger,
random
though.
woman that
It
you've
is a
never
stranger,
met before.
But when you're in those circumstances, you all have like a bond because you survived something atrocious.
Yeah,
So
I suppose.
there's that part, in
It's
there.
a fair point.
So
yeah, but she didn't even do that good of a job.
she didn't. She ditched them. She was like,
Yeah.
oh, and they were off to the orphanage. Basically, that's where they were headed.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Damn.
keep going.
Yeah, I liked it. Maybe Tom Holland. I think he's a really good actor. He was really good.
No, he did.
The acting in that movie was actually really good, even by the 2 little children.
Yeah.
They all did a really good job. Except for the only scene that was horrible acting was when Naomi Watts was like first against that palm tree and she was just screaming at the very, very beginning.
Yeah.
That was awful. I was like, this is going on for way too long and it's like weird screaming and I hated that part.
They did it intentionally though.
But to me, it just seemed like bad acting. It didn't seem...
Probably. It was probably one of those ads, like the ad that's seen in, like extend it, where it was probably like one quick take and then like the sun was supposed to come floating by and she sees him. But I think they probably extended it to give that emotional, like because she's all by herself. It's the helpless feel that they're trying to pull out of you. But I think they probably did it a little too long.
Yeah. Maybe if they would have
And
cut
that
it a
would've-
little
yeah.
bit. It would've
I don't
worked
remember
it.
this part.
Then her scream wouldn't have been as
Yeah, it was the
bad.
very beginning, like right after like she's resurfaced from the wave.
Because
she was like
because
clinging
it
to a palm tree.
Yeah, it shows her at first. She clenches up because the wave's coming, and then all of a sudden, now she's up against this tree as the huge current is trying to push her off the tree, and then she sees her son go by. It was probably 25 minutes in, like total movie wise.
Interesting. What else, Abby?
I had an idea, but I lost it. I like zoned out.
Okay. Jay?
I liked it. I thought it was a unique take, because you're following a family, and throughout the whole film, you're wondering, did they all survive? Are they ever going to find each other because of the mass destruction that the tsunami did? It scattered everything miles inland. And I'm not going to lie, man. Ewan McGregor, that's my dog. I almost cried. Really watching it. That moment when he broke down on the phone, I was like, "Oh shit! Hold back the tears, Jay." I was like, "God." And then when those 2 kids saw the brother, when the brother was yelling because he saw his dad, when they were running and yelling the brother's name, man, I was like,
Oh my god! I was like, oh my god, Lucas, turn around faster. This is
I
taking
know.
too long.
Yeah. I mean, that tension built up and the music hit. I was like, oh, this is going to be a gush moment. And then, I almost cried. I was like, I was welled. I was like, oh. But then, and then when all of them met, all the boys, all the men, the males, when they saw the father, that part too was kind of gripping. I was like, they did a really good job impacting. I like the camera shots that they used. The camera shots were amazing. Really, it was a well thought out film. The writing was, I mean, it's autobiographical, so it's a little too believable for me, because you see so many films and you want that, that extraordinary, like, oh my god, It didn't, like, there were parts where I thought, is this the dream portion? Is this not the dream portion? Because I was waiting for the reality flip, like the mom died, because they had it where she disappeared, but then when she went into the dream state, the son, actually it was the son that was in the dream state when the mom was flipping and rolling underneath, and it showed all the wires. I was like, so that's what really happened, and they're just like crazy. No, it was like legit, and it was just a dream when he woke up. I was like, fuck, man, this is. They got me, man. So it was really well done. I really liked the film. The score was great. The lights, the lighting, the color. I mean, all of it, really. Even the pace of the film was good, I thought. I do kind of agree with I wouldn't say bad acting. I just think that extended scene with the palm tree was, they could have shortened it a little bit and still it would have had more of an impactful part. But yeah, I really liked it.
It's kind of amazing that they all lived.
Good pick, Tave. Good pick.
Hey, I thought we were keeping her anonymous. You just name dropped her?
Okay.
You can't take it back.
Octavava Dava Dava.
Is that her new name?
That's her
Okay,
name.
that's her-
Octavava Dava Dava. I'm gonna call her Avocado from now on.
Okay.
Good pick, Avocado. What about you there, Jose?
Man, that's a powerful movie. It's I fucking loved how they played with the score, the sound effects, the lack of sound. It was just fucking amazing.
Oh yeah, like when they were underwater, like there was no sound.
Yeah, whoever worked on the sound, I don't know, the supervisors, the director himself, the composers, whatever, it was well fucking done. Like, there was no unnecessary music. There was no unnecessary Foley. It was just perfect, man. Like, so perfect. And it started in the plane when there was like lack of sounds.
Mm-hmm.
Like when they were landing, it's quiet, and then it lands. It's like, oof. I was like, oh shit. It reminds you of being on a plane. But that's one of the best things I liked about it was the music and the sound. It was really, really well done. And films nowadays don't have that mostly because they rely on visuals. So yeah, it took me a minute to recognize that it was Tom Holland in the beginning. So I had to Google. I was like, is that Spider-Man?
Little baby Tom Holland.
Yeah, I watched it with my wife, and I'm like, is that Spider-Man? She's like, I don't know. So I Googled it, and then I was like fanboying. I was like, oh my God, he acted before Spider-Man? Oh my God. He was definitely the protagonist.
Yeah, he was definitely the protagonist.
But yeah. Being a dad has made me even more sensitive and empathetic. So it was kind of a tearjerker for me, especially like that dream when the mother's getting like beat up by Mother Nature. That shit was fucking hard. The one that really made me like cry was at the end when he opens up the note with the
and it says we'll be at the beach.
We were at the beach, or we are at the beach. Yeah, I was like, fuck. And I have a daughter, and it was the daughter and the wife, and I was like, fuck. It's hard to judge this movie because it's not. It's an autobiographical.
Yeah.
Autobiographical. Okay.
Like you said, so it's not like, oh wow, it's such a cool story. Like the story itself is miraculous, but it's real, and it's not like, oh, this came from someone's imagination. It's just someone trying to share their story. I believe the fact that they changed it from, because I looked up pictures of them and they're like tan, like a tan brownish color.
Oh, they're Spanish.
Yeah. So I imagine that they did like the British one because in the early 2000s, late 90s, and before that, I feel like there was more like white actors in Hollywood. But
this was 2012.
No, yeah, but they've been working on this since like 4-6 years before that.
Oh, they really worked on it for that long?
Yeah, because she had to write it, and then a producer wanted to work with her, and then it took like about 3 years to write the story.
The
Maria
original.
Ballone, yeah.
Right, but another thing you can think about too, and it maybe doesn't have anything to do with race itself. It might have been Ewan McGregor maybe caught on to the story and really wanted to do the part. You know, because sometimes that happens too, where an actor's like, "Oh my God, I really love this story. I would love to do this," and they're like, "Well, you don't fit the part, but why can't you fit the part?" You know,
Yeah.
So it might have been just something simple as that, not so much. Well, it's because in 2012 it's white America. No, I don't think that. I don't think that's the case at all.
You're taking this out of I'm talking about like Hollywood.
Right.
There's been problems in Hollywood with race for a long time.
So I mean, they could have cast Antonio Banderas.
They could have, and there's Penelope Cruz as well.
But the thing is, well, like I'm saying, is more than likely, either the producer was like, "Hey, this guy's personality matches the way that this guy acts. Maybe we should go with this."
Well, that's up to the director.
You know.
But I guess I don't know. But that's just my point of view. Like you said, the kids acted really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were really
surprising.
surprising because
Yeah.
children are hard to direct.
Yeah.
What are you looking at?
I don't know. My mic is still wiggling again.
I'm not doing
And
anything.
I'm not doing anything I'm not touching the table at all. That's really weird.
Maybe it's the wind in the room.
Yeah, it must be the wind in the room.
Or the AC's on.
But yeah.
But one part that I didn't really understand was, so right before the mom went missing, there's that woman next to them laying next to them, and she was like kind of staring at the ceiling. And then later in the film, right before the mom goes into surgery for her leg, you see that same woman again.
Because
And she's
she's
like-
going into surgery.
But she's like, I was saving my energy so I could see my family. 'Cause I
feel-
have family too. And then she reached out to like hold her hand, and then she was wheeled away. I don't understand the point of that character.
It probably meant something to Maria Ballone at the moment.
Yeah.
So I don't understand it. Like I'm
I
confused.
mean, obviously
too.
it was probably a real woman that was there,
Yeah.
Well,
but I don't understand the reason for that.
the reason I
character.
understood it was that because for so long the mom was struggling to hold on to make sure her son, because in her mind her son was the only thing she had left, because she had thought the husband and the other two children were dead, that she wanted to stay on as long as she could and not give up the will to live to make sure that her son is okay. And I think when she's in the surgery room or the waiting room to go into surgery with that woman who was in the same state condition, that person didn't have anybody else. So she's letting go. And it basically that reach out where she's getting wheeled away before they touch, to me, it seemed like it's don't give up
From who?
for Naomi Watts' character.
Yeah.
Maria's.
But the
Marisol, whatever
other
it is.
woman was the one that reached out to her.
Right. But it was the almost connection, because Naomi reaches out later, in the scene. She's reaching out right before she gets wheeled away. So it's like, it's almost for me, don't give up, as she's extended, and the other one's reaching out saying like, I'm not going to give up.
Oh, okay.
That's how I felt with that whole scene. And what it told me was like, don't give up, the fight, because your family, maybe she had a moment where she feels like her family's there. you know,
Yeah.
and it's like, don't give up because you're going to see everybody again, kind of thing. That's how I felt it was. The thing that got me the most is when she pulled all that fishing line out of her.
Oh God, that was awful.
I was like, because the one started doing it, and then the other, and I was like, oh my God, they've been poisoned.
Yeah.
The Thai hospital has poisoned them somehow. But it was a really freaky moment. The only thing, one small glitch that I didn't like was the moment before when Ewan McGregor finds his wife and he's like kissing her and talking to her and stuff. She's just completely mangled and beat up in the face, and then on the plane, she's got a very
she's
very
not.
clean
She's
face.
like very clean.
Because it's not so much that the dirt and all that stuff. It was the bruising that she had in her face was very deep.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
In the surgery room, and then on the plane, it's very white lit, and it's the hope. Oh, everything's okay. You're going to Singapore, but her face is less bruised. And I was like, in a 24-hour state, I don't think the bruising would have healed that much. It would have yellowed, or at least the black eyes and the redness would have dissolved away a little bit.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't have been as clear as it was. I mean, that was the only thing that I noticed that was kind of wrong with the film. But other than that, though, it was great.
Also, like the very end when they were like walking through the crowd of people about to get on the plane, like, and the insurance guy like meets up with them. It was like, how come they were so special that they got to go on the plane by themselves and everybody else was still there?
Insurance.
They just had good
Yeah, they
insurance
had
to
the
fly
travel
them
insurance.
out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, because one thing with the British and then, like most of European Union does this is like everybody has insurance, but I think because they were they work for that Japanese firm
Yeah.
that they probably had like a super awesome insurance through the company, and the company probably contacted and said, hey,
Yeah, adding to that, he was a executive at Gillette in Japan.
yeah.
Oh, Gillette. Okay. Yeah.
So
And that's probably what
yeah.
a lot of it was.
So, moral of the story: get travel insurance. It does help. They cover like helicopters
in case
and
you're
planes.
in a tsunami and
Any
you're dying.
accidents, they can fly you over to
Yeah.
the best hospitals nearby and everything. It was a good movie, man. It manipulated my feelings, and I loved it because that's the purpose of a film.
Yeah. It was a very powerful movie.
Yeah. Good.
It was.
Oh. And yes, in real life, the Daniel kid did indeed find his parents at the same hospital.
Oh.
I googled everything at the end. I was like, no way, what happened to Daniel? Because like in the movie, you're like, oh, did he really find his parents exactly at the same place because he disappeared? Yes, he did. So,
Oh, I had no question about that. When I seen the look that the man holding the kid had, and when he picked him up and walked out the door, that was a cradle. Not an uncle wouldn't give the cradle the same way a father would give
yeah.
a child, and I knew off the bat it was.
Oh no, I'm talking about like,
well, like if
in
it
real
was
life.
exaggerated for the movie, that
Yeah.
moment in the movie versus what
Oh.
really happened.
Because
Yeah.
I saw this as a lesson to Tom Holland, as in like, see, your mom was right. You should have saved this kid, because he was like, no, let's go, we gotta get safe, and she was like, well, what if it was your brothers?
That's why I didn't see it that way. But,
Oh, I thought because in Tom Holland,
I thought
like,
it was the humanitarian thing to do.
Oh, well, yeah,
Because it is.
Well, yeah.
I mean, when you're in a travesty like that,
yeah,
help out anybody you can. But then again, I could see Tom Holland's perspective though.
yeah.
Like, hey, we need to get to safety. I'm sorry that this kid's way the hell out there. And then I can see the other point, like, well, what if it's your brother?
Yeah.
So it's one of those moralistic choices where to me there would have been no wrong answer.
Yeah.
But it tugged the heartstring when they go after the kid, and it's great that they thought that way, because I mean that's what we need in the world more of, people doing that versus, well, we need to get ourselves safe first.
Yeah. Oh, the thing that confused me too is when they take him to the weird tent for lost kids, and then they show him like a watch and stuff.
What happened was that they mixed up the paperwork with another woman,
Oh.
and that woman died, and so they thought that his mom was dead, and so they were showing him the woman's stuff, and he's like, he didn't know if it was hers or not, because at the end of the movie, because the mom has a name written on her arm,
Muriel.
it was not her name,
Yeah.
so they thought that was they just got the two people mixed up, and they didn't know whose mom was his mom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I could see happening. It was so crazy in that little hospital.
Could you imagine like being one of those two kids on the bus, not knowing what's going on, and you're on this truck, going somewhere with kids that are not, all from different,
Yeah.
nationalities, and like, where are we
Probably
going?
can't speak the same language as
You
half
know
of
you're
them.
going to the fucking orphanage. Well, we knew as viewers.
I
like,
didn't know where
that
they
shit
were going.
happening. That shit happened.
Now that you say that, I'm like, oh yeah. But at the time, I was like, why the fuck are they going?
The only reason that they found their mom was because that one kid had to pee.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Or they
Pretty
found
much.
the family.
So many like, serendipitous moments happened in that. It was like fate, because I don't believe in fate, but I don't believe in like, everybody has their whole lifespan planned out for them. Like, you kind of make your own fate, but to a point, I think there might be an external power that will say, no. You're going to get a flat tire right here.
Yeah.
Now
Or like
you're going to meet
truck
the
was
love.
starting.
You're going to meet the love of your life because you have a flat tire, because it's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Everything happens the way it's supposed to. So in the cosmic nether, all those events transpired because they were supposed to transpire at that exact moment. It was really cool. I liked how that happened, because you've seen so many times the dad and the son would be
Like
just
crossing
crossing
paths.
paths, you know,
Yeah.
and be like shit. And then he's in line and he sees the legs, and I thought it was great.
That was the ugly shorts that they made fun of in the pool.
Yeah, yeah. And it's the small
Oh.
things that you notice that like you don't realize how many details a kid might notice.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, you know, and then you're cheering for him like, go, go. And then they miss each other. It's like, God damn, don't get on that truck, you know?
The
You know?
frustration.
And then he sees the ball and then he gets off. He's like, oh, I remember the ball. I got it for Christmas. And he gets off and then it's like, God, you son of a bitch, just turn around right now, you know?
Yeah.
And then the kids like drive by as the brother's running out and then he's looking one way and the kid's peeing there and he like, you're missing him. 30 feet, brother. 30 fucking feet. 30 feet, man.
Yeah.
That whole
Also-
tension moment was awesome.
The worst part is that I know for a fact that all of them are walking around with no shoes on.
Yeah.
Because they were all at the
Dude,
pool,
that shit's
so they
gotta
didn't
hurt.
have any shoes.
That shit's got to hurt. Running on asphalt and concrete.
It's
Ah.
more than just asphalt.
Or
It's all,
walking,
it's
like,
debris
on the
and
debris.
like other
Yeah.
shit.
Well, think about it. He's running. Okay, so when he finds the Dutch kid, you know, and he's running back to try to find the dad, he's sliding through the hospital on
Mhm.
turns. And then you could hear his feet chomping like clunk, 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 clunk. Oh my God, that's good. I've ran barefoot, like on hard surfaces. My heels hurt after I'm done. I'm like, for him, you know, for kids, it's one thing, but for adults, you know, like Ewan was running through doing all this, looking for his family. I was like, no,
Yeah.
you're a brave motherfucker, man. Ewan, you're the man.
He's handsome. He
Yeah.
has the high ground.
He is.
Hello there.
Yeah.
Um,
He has a
so
handsome devil.
ratings. Abby,
Out of 5 out of 10, I forget every time.
5.
5.
You
Yeah, 5.
proclaimed 5.
Yeah, you're
I
the
give
one
it
that made the rule.
like a 4.
Whoa. I think that's the highest you've done.
I probably I have no idea.
Jay?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the 4.
Whoa.
Really, I mean, it was that impact. It was a good story.
Yeah.
What are you gonna give it?
I'll give it a 4 too. I would have loved for it to be in Spanish, regardless of the actors, but just in Spanish to see the how it more close to how it was, because they're Spanish,
Yeah.
or at least like a Spanish accent in English.
Mm-hmm.
But 4, because this is a good movie, well done, well produced, directed, everything. DP. Yeah, it's really good.
And baby Tom Holland.
Baby, dude, yeah, I know. What? He's a good actor.
Yeah, he is pretty good.
Handsome. He's Spider-Man.
That is Spider-Man. Spidey Man.
I saw a preview for a show that he's gonna be in, like a sci-fi, where
Oh.
his thoughts show up around
His
him.
Thoughts show up.
Yeah.
Like a TV show or a movie?
Oh, I think it might be a movie.
Oh.
But yeah.
Like in a chat, like the comic book bubble.
No, it's like
Like he sees visions?
he reads this situation, and like there's like this like sci-fi bubble that appears every time he thinks something, and it's weird.
But do other people see it though?
I don't know. The preview, I believe they do.
Because it's like one of those things like, oh, I'm reading
Yeah.
your thoughts right now. No, I mean, you don't have to.
No, I want to look up the name so that people can look it up.
Yeah, your vague description of things.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
While you're doing that, I think it's time for me to say, Jose,
No,
have you worked on your screenplay?
no.
No.
I've worked on my creative writing.
For class. I mean, I'll give you half a point for that, but not a full point.
Oh, so
Chaos Walking.
then maybe I should ask. So Abby, how's the screenwriting going for yours?
I'll have you know that I wrote 1 page,
Oh,
which, I win this week because Jose
Mhm.
hasn't written anything.
there you
So,
Who's this one?
Chaos Walking.
It's supposed
That's
to
a
be-
weird poster.
Yeah, it's coming out next year.
Oh, well.
Well, of course, it's November. There's not a lot of movies.
Hey,
that are
man,
gonna
have
come out
hope.
this year.
Oh, so I'm guessing they're bringing the Wonder Woman movie for us to rent?
HBO. 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 Anyway, HBO.
That was awesome.
No, not HBO. It's not going to HBO. It's going to HBO Max. Because
same thing.
don't even try to say the same thing because it's not. It's
Essentially the same thing.
Not really.
If you were to tell me HBO, I'd be like, okay, I understand what you mean.
What's going on?
But if I tell you HBO Max, you know what that is too.
Yeah.
But it's not HBO.
I still don't know the difference between HBO Max, HBO Go, HBO.
I explained this to her. Ladies and gentlemen, I explained this to her.
I'm still confused.
HBO is the cable-driven home box office. HBO Max is a streaming service that they have. It's a completely different subject. And then
So
HBO
you have
Go
to pay
is
two
on your
different-
phone.
Here, I got
HBO
it.
Go is on your phone.
It's Disney Plus versus Disney Channel.
Yeah.
So you have to pay
Extra.
separately to get the different ones.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, that's stupid.
Yes. I'm tired of this fucking streaming
Well, actually,
services.
no. I have HBO and I have HBO Max and Go.
So
Because
it's
I have
probably
HBO
together.
for cable. It's all together in a package. But I think there are different tiers, maybe. Like you can only get HBO if you only want HBO. Or you can go one tier higher and get the Plus and the Max.
Oh.
Or,
There's too many
Go in
streaming
that.
services,
That's
man.
weird.
I'm getting tired of it.
Yeah.
Because every service is
But so people,
coming up with good
people
stuff.
who have HBO for like cable can't watch Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
They'd have to have the streaming service.
So do you have to pay, like how Disney did Mulan, do you have to pay
Yes.
extra to watch Wonder Woman?
Oh, yes.
No, I don't think it's going to be that way.
I think they need to make the money, man.
But they're making the money off the
They're
subscriber.
making money because they're just putting it on HBO.
Well,
HBO's
Disney
going to pay
Plus
them out.
made the money both ways.
But yeah, I don't think HBO is going to do that.
Well, I mean, we'll see. We don't know yet. But I strongly believe they will.
Maybe, I don't know. We'll find out because
I'm so tired of the streaming services.
Was it 23rd or the 24th? I think it's the 24th.
It's Christmas Day.
Is it day? I thought it
think
was
it's
Eve.
Day.
I thought it was Eve, but
thought it was
it might
day.
be. Oh, we'll find out that day because I mean I'm going to watch it.
My favorite, I have this shirt that I bought a couple years ago, and it's like 4 sizes too big for me, and it's a Wonder Woman shirt. And it was like, it looks like it's like you know when you go to the fair and you get like those airbrush t-shirts, it looks just like that. But I've had it for so long, and it's just like the neck ripped, and so I ripped the whole neckline off of it, so it's way too big for my neck, and then it's 4 sizes too big, and it's just kind of gross and disgusting. But it's my favorite shirt. But it's a Wonder Woman shirt,
And you wonder why you
and
don't
I
get rid of
wonder.
it.
I know. I need to throw it away, but it's my favorite shirt. Like I love that shirt so much.
What's so favorite about it?
I don't have.
Is it just comfort or?
It's comfortable, and I also it looks cool, but it's also really gross, and I just need to throw it the fuck away.
Don't throw
But
it
it's
away.
hard to part with it.
Don't throw it away.
You don't have to throw it
But
away.
it's gross.
I have a pair of shoes. I have a pair of Vans that I had a long time ago when I was skating, and they have a rip in the front. Because I was running from the cops and I tried to jump a fence, and my shoe got caught on the chain link piece and it ripped a hole, and I like slammed down.
Mm-hmm.
But they're the most comfortable shoes ever. I'll never get rid of them. I don't care.
Do you wear? When was the last time you wore them?
About 3 months ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So they're still wearable.
They're very wearable.
Oh, okay.
Is your shirt not wearable?
No.
How so?
It's 4 sizes too big for me. So a shirt that's really big, and then there was a hole in the neck. So I took the whole neckline off of it, like you know where the seam is on your shirt. So I took the whole seam off, and so now it's super big, and it just looks weird on me. And
Does it stay on?
barely. Like it's kind of like if it could like slip down, or like my shoulder would be out, or something like that.
So stitch it.
And it's also
So-
just gross. Like it used to be like this kind of like faded gray white color, and now it's just like dark gray. Because I've washed it so many times, and I probably should have washed it with like the white shirts, but I didn't wash it with white shirts, and so like it's mixed with the other color shirts, and so it's not white anymore.
Maybe it's like an overshirt. You know how like what you're doing now.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you can wear it like that and get away with it.
I would
Anywhere you
never
want.
wear it in public.
What if you get all the clothes that you don't want to make like a little blanket out of it?
Yeah, I mean, but it's gross. That's what I'm saying.
I don't understand gross because it's just gray.
It's
Like,
just like you look at it and
You have
you're like,
embedded dins
it's
in
like
it or something.
well, you look at it, and also it's like very thin material because it was like a very cheap shirt when I bought it, so it's just like not good quality, and it feels awful.
But it's your favorite shirt.
But it's my favorite shirt.
Hey.
I don't know. I'll moan and complain about it, but I know for a fact that I will throw it away.
No, you won't.
Yes, I will.
No, you won't.
I will.
Avocado, you need to destroy the shirt while she's here.
Avocado.
Destroy it?
Avocado. You need to like take the shirt. and
Why
get rid of it.
avocado?
I don't know. Oh wait, no, I got it better.
He's talking about my mom.
No, yeah, that's why. Why avocado?
Tavocado. How about
Because it's close to what her name is.
Tavocado?
Tavocado.
I'm gonna call her Tavocado.
Huh.
Tavocado. Take the shirt.
What's her name again?
It's in her
Octavia.
drawer. It's in her bottom drawer.
You don't know what drawer it's
under
in.
the socks.
Who puts their socks in the bottom drawer?
Yeah, this should be on the top one.
You're short. That's so you can reach them.
Oh.
Well, makes no sense.
So
but
free
okay.
range topic. Just bounce.
Oh, hey, so I don't know if this is free range, but you know what? One thing I noticed. Okay, so I know you're not big into football or whatever, but like the Seattle Seahawks, other than last Thursday's game, is shit the bed for two games in a row, right?
Oh.
And so you know, after the football games, they always have those the press conferences where the coach comes out and tries to defend why he lost, or say, hey, we're doing a really good job if they win or whatever, and then they have the players.
Yeah.
So within those two games that they lost, the Seahawks lost, Russell Wilson comes out and he threw like 5 interceptions in like 2 games. Yeah, it was bad. It was,
Jesus.
Definite diarrhea of the ass on the bed while they were playing. Like shit the
Thank
bed
you for
bad.
being so vulgar.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I just found it weird that every time they go out there, they have this program thing. All athletes have this program thing to say like, oh well, yeah, we're gonna fix that. I got to get better. We're gonna fix it.
What else are you gonna say?
Hey, I fucked up. That's all you got to say. It's like, hey, man, you know what? Those are bad decisions that I made on the field. I thought they would work. They didn't work. We're going to work on that. That's, and I would respect somebody if they said that, other than the same programmable script. It's almost like a presidential script. He doesn't write that. His press conference people write it, So it's like, just come out and be honest with you. I don't want to hear the filler crap that every single person says. Hey, so we got our deficiencies and we got to work on it. We're going to get better. It's you just hear it over and over and over. It's almost a cookie cutter statement that every single athlete says. So like motherfucker, we're paying you millions of dollars. Go out and be honest. We're the guys that are buying all your fanboy stuff. Tell us the truth.
Your fanboys.
What would
you
be the
sucked
truth?
for one game, but you're not going to suck. You're gonna strive to get
That's
better.
the last time he's ever gonna suck.
So you'll be
No, I
okay
won't
with
be.
what they say, but preface with the.
I just don't want to
We
hear the
suck.
same thing every single time.
I don't-
It's
I
like,
don't know.
hey, yeah, okay, maybe the football gods weren't with us today. I threw an interception because I didn't notice that guy when I was out there. And even if they get a little bit aggressive on it, be like, well, you get 6 300-pound guys chasing you to see how well you do. I would love for them to say that to the press people, because I know they're just saying it so the press people won't criticize them.
Yeah.
But I want to hear like the legitimate shit. Like, I don't know. I was scared, man. I was legitimately scared. There's 300-pound guys chasing me. I was scared. Yeah, I dropped the ball, or just admit their failure. Not.
What if they're not allowed to?
Oh, they're allowed.
You think
Come on,
so?
man. Yeah, they're allowed.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure there's like briefings on.
Oh, they're
talking to the
their
press.
agent.
Probably, like,
no, yeah, their
like-
agent and all them probably groom them.
Yeah.
There's probably like, you should say this and you should not
you
say
can't say-
that
you can't talk
guidelines,
shit about
but
your
I'm sure there's
coach.
not like
Yeah.
anything that you can be like, no, you can't be like, I fucked up. I'm sure there's not a rule
I bet you
against
can.
that.
I bet you, yeah. But I'm sure they
But
go,
but,
don't
like, the
go out
mentality-
and degrade
The
somebody.
mentality of an athlete is like they train you kind of to not be like, oh, I fucked up. It was all my fault, type of situation.
Oh, no, he said that. Oh, hey, guys, it's on me. Come on, man. That's the stupidest thing
Well,
I've ever heard. Like, hey,
I
guys.
mean, he admitted it.
But one guy did not lose that football game, though.
Yeah.
It was a
that's
team.
also true.
It's a team of people, and they all need to stand in a line together and arm to arm and go, you know what? We all fucked
Hey,
up.
that's not
I challenge you, Seattle
press
Seahawks,
conferences go.
to do that. I want to see that one time. The whole fucking offensive team, like, go out and go, yeah, we all fucked up.
Yeah, I don't know. I, don't
I think
it's
that'd
gonna
be,
happen.
but wouldn't it be
I
great?
understand.
But
I
wouldn't it be great to
personally
see that?
don't
Because
know
that's
anybody
100% transparency.
apart from you that watches the press conferences.
Oh, you'd be surprised. Well, maybe
Do you think
don't.
that many
You don't.
people?
Oh,
That many
a
people
lot of
watch
do.
them?
A lot of people do.
You should
A lot
watch
of people do.
soccer, or at least soccer conferences, because they do say, "Yeah, we sucked."
No, Pete Carroll, I really enjoy watching Pete Carroll when he does his press conferences because he's still excited, just as excited on the field.
Does he chew gum in the
Not-
conferences?
not-
conferences?
Not during the press conference. Not during the press
He's like
conference.
talking into the microphone, like,
Yeah, but it's not. I mean, he's very. He knows. He talks about them like seriously, like they're cars in his garage. He really does. You know, like the '57 Chevy, you know, or the '62 or the Chevelle. He talks about his players that way. He like refers to them in like this very intimate way. Like he really gets to know his players and you know that bond he forms. I think he's different from a lot of different coaches because I watch a lot of the coaches on the sideline. And they just stand there. Like Bruce Arians has got this red face, and it looks like
Who's that?
He used to be the Cardinals coach, but now he's the Buccaneers coach.
Okay.
didn't he used to be the Seahawks coach?
No, I don't think Arians ever did.
I have no idea then. Just
But
throwing shit out
but then
there.
like Mike Tomlin,
Who used to be the Seahawks coach?
he did not.
Who used to be? Who took them the
I
first,
honestly
the first
I
Super
can't
Bowl?
remember.
The first Super Bowl the Seahawks went to. Who was the coach?
The Carroll guy.
No.
No.
It
No?
was 2003 or something. They went to the Super Bowl. I can't remember.
Okay, well,
I honestly cannot remember anybody past Pete Carroll.
it was that he was a big guy, and then he went to the Cardinals. That's all I know. I have no idea what his name
It might
is.
have been Bruce Arians then.
I don't. I hate
I
you.
don't
Just,
know.
I know what he looks like, so you have to show me a picture.
I got here in 2012.
So I'm not sure, but you just see a lot of different composures of coaches up and down the sideline are nothing like Pete Carroll. He's up and down, talking to people, pulling his mask out, you know. And I remember he got that fine because he didn't wear a mask that one game.
And now he's wearing 2 masks.
And he's got like 2 masks on. It's funny to watch, but
For real?
he's very
Yeah.
he's very animated throughout the whole game. And you know the moment he's getting mad because his chatter starts going with his gum. You know, he's like super fast.
Yeah.
So I really wish. I mean, I watch his stuff. I watch the press conference. I guess I'm that geek
I guess
who
you
follows.
Oh, me too. The soccer ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Like, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of documentaries on what happens behind the scenes in any sport.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
interesting to see how the leader has to like talk for the whole
Yeah.
institution of the sport.
yeah,
It's just tough, man.
it is. You're to blame for everything. you know?
Yeah.
It's just like being a CEO in a corporation. Somebody on your lower level gets in trouble for like sexual harassment. Say, you're the one that's got to answer for it.
Yeah.
You're like, why are you allowing this to go on in your organization? Well,
I didn't
maybe,
do it.
maybe he didn't know
Yeah.
until it was too late and it was brought up, So, but then they always backtrack on everything. Like, well, why didn't you take precautions? Did you do training? Did you do, it's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
It's not the coach's fault that the team loses. It really isn't. It's the players.
He's a perfect scapegoat.
Yeah. But they sign on to being the coach knowing that that's their responsibility is to take the impact rounds. So it's amazing. What else are we going to talk about?
I don't know. We got some 2 minutes left.
2 minutes.
What are we going to watch? What are we going to preview next? Oh, no.
We should let.
Oh wait, we have those questions
we
to
have
answer.
questions from
Oh,
another
yes.
Our
Patreon.
other Patreon.
Yes, let me-
Hang on, I have it right here.
Quiet this down before it beeps.
All right, ask me anything. What are your guys' favorite movies?
Wait, who is these questions from? Since we already.
Well, apparently we're keeping things anonymous. I don't know.
So it's
Can I just say it? Her name
go
is
ahead. Go ahead.
so Flo Southworth has asked us
Beautiful last name.
questions. So there's the main question of what's your favorite movie, and then there's like 2 subgenres of your favorite black and white movie, your favorite color, or your favorite silent movie.
Ooh. Okay, so
So you
what's
want to
the
start
first one?
broad? Start broad. What is your favorite movie?
The Breakfast Club.
I knew you were gonna
I
say
already
that.
knew that. Yeah, we already had that discussion. so
Yeah,
knew
I
it.
mean, we're talking in a podcast. He's not telling us.
Yeah, I know.
He's telling the podcast.
I know.
All right, what's your favorite movie?
Actually, my favorite movie falls in line with my favorite black and white movie because it's one and the same. It's
Okay.
Angels with Dirty Faces.
I've heard that name before.
Is that the one that's in
1930.
Is that the one that? What's the movie that's in Home Alone? Is that Angels with Dirty
No,
Faces?
that's not.
What is it?
I don't know which one that is. It's not. It might be White Heat. I gotta.
Is that the one with the filthy animal
Yeah.
quote?
Yeah.
It's something in there.
It's
but
like Angels. I thought it was that.
it's
Angels
not.
with
I've
Wavy
watched
Faces.
the movie. I own the movie. I know it's not in there.
What about you, Abby? Favorite movie?
It's hard for me to pin down just a general favorite movie.
It's hard for all of us to pin
Yeah,
down.
I think I have to go with. I mean, currently, like right now, my favorite movie is A Star Is Born. I like that movie a lot.
Which one? The
The
original?
new one with
The new
Lady
one?
Gaga and Bradley Cooper.
Of course, it's Gaga.
I like.
Oh yeah,
She's
Gaga.
Goo Goo for Gaga.
I like Lady Gaga.
Auga. Okay, what was the next question?
Your favorite black and white movie?
Um,
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't know how many black and white movies I've watched, and I can't name any off the top of my head. The only one that I remember a lot would be, we talked about it in class recently, where it's the movie that starts in black and white and then it moves into color. It's driven by the plot. Like he's in a black and white world and he's supposed to be in a colorful world. I can't remember what the name of that movie is.
well, I like one that's half and half, but at the end it's color. It's Wonderstruck.
I've never heard of that.
On
You didn't watch Citizen
What
Kane?
year is that?
You haven't seen Citizen Kane?
Um,
Oh, I hate Citizen Kane.
Rosebud.
Fuck off.
Wonderstruck is I think it's in the 2000 teens. It was released, and it connects in the end. It connects in the future of the movie, which I think it's like the 80s or 70s,
Mhm.
but it goes back in time to like the 30s. So it's black and white, then color, black and white, then color.
Oh, that's interesting.
And then at the end, it's like, I wouldn't want to spoil it, but at the end, they meet up in the 1980s,
Mm-hmm.
and then, but yeah, it's a beautiful movie. Recommend it. Wonderstruck on Amazon Studios.
No, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it. It was like,
I don't know.
I have no idea either. Okay, what's your favorite black and white movie? I gave a general
I just-
synopsis.
I just
said
told
it.
you.
Angels with Dirty Faces.
Oh, duh.
Yeah.
Okay, your favorite silent film.
My favorite silent film is, and I don't remember the name of it, but it's the one where, the moon, the rocket gets crashed into the moon. And for the life of me, I can't remember the name of it because they go
I know
through
what
the
that is.
space journey, and it's very theatrical and it's on stage.
It's like hand painted for the color too.
like the backdrop.
I've seen
Yeah,
that,
but
but
it's
in,
originally in
I've seen
black
it
and
too.
white.
In
I
Hugo.
can't remember what it's called.
I've seen it in Hugo, but I've never seen the original film.
Yeah, I've seen the original. And it's really cool. I really like that one.
I haven't seen the silent
And
film.
Buster Keaton. Almost any Buster Keaton film, I can watch over and over, and it's all silent.
I can't name any silent films.
I don't think I would have the patience for it now.
Like the only silent films I really watched was when I took the history of like film class in like a couple of years ago, and we watched a lot of silent films. They were like, okay to watch. They were a bit slow, but like they weren't my favorite. Like it was that one really racist one about the
So you have to be more specific. It was
The
the
one-
it
like
was
the-
the 30s now.
it was
Come
like
on.
it was I mean, it was really, really racist, and it was like I don't even remember what happened. It was
Did
like,
it do blackface?
yeah, they did blackface.
Yeah,
Like
I
half
know
of
which
the
one you're talking
characters were in blackface and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not my favorite, obviously, because it was also kind of boring, but because it was a 1930s film, but so it was like record breaking for what it was.
Yeah.
But
I think I know which one you're talking about.
I don't remember watching a silent film at all. But what he mentioned is shown in the Hugo.
You've seen bits and pieces of that one.
Yeah.
It's even in bits of music videos.
No, I don't remember that.
Well, I'm saying, like, for the listeners,
So it's
you'll
referenced.
know
a
which
lot.
one. Yeah, it's a very famous film because it's one of the very first ones.
I think also, side note, I would like to add to my favorite movie, the Pride and Prejudice with Keira Knightley was really good. I love that one a lot. I will always recommend that to anybody that is like, what movie should I watch? Pride and Prejudice with Keira Knightley.
And to caveat on that, another favorite one of mine is Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. Pride and Prejudice and Zombies is amazing.
I wanted to
Oh,
see it,
that's a
but
real
it's
thing?
not available
Yes.
anywhere.
It is.
Oh.
It is. And it's great. I love it because they still go along the same storyline, really. they keep very close to the book and the film, the Pride and Prejudice film, but they add the zombie factor in, and it's awesome.
It sounds like fun.
I really do recommend that one. It's a great watch. It really is. It's not a builder. It's a great watch, especially if you've seen or read, the originals.
Huh. I recommend Pan's Labyrinth.
Nice. I haven't seen that one.
So
I thought that Pan's Labyrinth and Labyrinth were the same movie.
No, I made her watch Labyrinth.
And then
the
I
other day.
watched Labyrinth and I was like, that's two different movies. So I
Yeah.
have not seen Pan's Labyrinth.
I recommend it. It's in Spanish though.
Is it in Spanish?
Yeah, there's subtitles.
It's
Oh, okay.
it was made in Spain.
Oh.
A Mexican production in Spain. It's pretty cool. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful though. Guess who directed it?
Who?
Guillermo del Toro.
Oh my god.
Tavocado Craig.
My mom directed Pan's Labyrinth?
Hey, you never know.
Oh.
You never know.
Well, she didn't
She
tell
might
me.
have an alias.
She didn't tell me that.
I don't think she would. She wants to keep her
No.
anonymity.
I think that she would have let it slip eventually.
Well, the night is young.
Okay.
So we really, really appreciate the involvement with the movie recommendations for review, the Ask Me Anything questions, and please keep it up because it's fun.
Yes, to our Patreons, request more movies and submit more questions.
Yes.
Please.
The AMAs don't absolutely have to be film related.
Yeah, it could just be like, what's your favorite taco?
What kind of socks are
What's
you
your
wearing?
favorite taco?
Yeah. It's fine.
So, yeah, it's really fun.
So thank you to Flo for her question.
Southworth.
Zzz.
It's a beautiful last name.
Yes.
It's warm.
Okay.
South.
Because it's south? Do you
No, it's just
do you just
it rolls
associate
well.
the south with warmth?
Hell yeah. It reminds you of like someone owning like an estate.
Southworth. The Southworth estate.
Yeah, and then drinking like lemonade or something.
Hmm.
And having dogs running around in the pasture.
And like a wraparound porch and a lot of
Yeah.
yard.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Thanksgiving. Kind of,
Okay. I mean, it is almost Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah. We're having a Thanksgiving podcast.
Are we?
Are we?
I don't know.
I don't know. Or should we extend this one?
I mean, we're already at like an hour, aren't we?
No,
Yeah.
I think we should cut this one and
Yeah.
just do another one.
Then we do
could
the things we're thankful
or
for.
a post. No, I don't. That's so.
Well, I'm going to say what I'm thankful for.
thankful for?
It's so bullshit. Cliche.
I'll be-
Cliche.
It's all bullshit.
I'll be the bullshit cliche next podcast.
There you go.
All right.
All right. Thank you, everyone. This is The Random Whisper.
See you next time.
Don't cook bacon naked.
I'm Abby.
I'm Jay.
I'm Jay. Oh, man. That day. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, man. This is The Random Whisper.